Hey everyone, Miss Abraham here. Today we're going to read a story about volcanoes and learn more about the words that we already know. So to start, volcanoes, some of which are active and some of which are not, are found all over the world. This article that we're going to read provides information about Earth's volcanoes and explains how they form and how they erupt. Some scientists, like Joanne Green, study volcanoes. Other people live their daily lives right next to volcanoes. Although people can live with and study volcanoes, this article explains that people cannot control volcanoes. As a little bit of background, Beth Geiger, who is the author, worked as a geologist for 10 years before she became a writer. A geologist is a scientist who studies the Earth. She has traveled to the Arctic several times and now lives in Seattle, Washington. She actually wrote an interesting book about how lizards change color and won a science award for it. So science articles give information about the natural world, and they often have diagrams that explain information in the text. The title and labels in the diagram help you understand what it's about. Take a look at this diagram. I know that from the title, I can use the labels to determine different causes and effects. As you can see, it's kind of small, but the diagram is labeled 1, 2, and 3 based on causes and effects of how a volcano erupts. So usually I read the stories to you, but today I'm going to let the textbook read to us and explain the science article, which will help us learn. Let's get started.
A dangerous job. Joanne Green walks by a glowing river. This river has no water, however. Instead, it is made of hot liquid rock, or lava. The lava river is extremely hot, and so are the rocks surrounding it. If you aren't careful, she says, you'll melt your boots on the hot rock, or worse. Green is used to these dangers. They are part of her job. She is a volcanologist, a scientist who studies volcanoes. Green is studying Kilauea, a volcano in Hawaii. Green studies other volcanoes too. Earth has thousands of them. Volcanoes on Earth. Most people think that volcanoes are simply large mountains that pour out lava. But a volcano actually starts deep beneath Earth's surface, or crust. The layer of rock below the Earth's crust is called the mantle. But the pressure and high temperature near the center of the Earth change the rock to liquid. The pressure can force the liquid rock upward. It moves up through cracks in the Earth's crust. This can form a volcano.
So this is the same diagram that we looked at a couple slides ago. And what's interesting about it is it tells you the causes and the effects of volcanoes. And we'll definitely talk about that more.
It's about the lava. About 1,500 of Earth's volcanoes are active. An active volcano is one that can erupt lava. Some volcanoes make runny lava. The lava flows fast, like pancake batter. It piles up in thin layers. Over time, it forms low, wide mountains. Other volcanoes erupt thick lava. It flows slowly, like toothpaste. It piles up in thick layers. Over time, it forms tall, steep mountains. The Ring of Fire. Volcanoes are found all over Earth. Some form on land, others rise up from the bottom of the ocean. Most volcanoes are near the Pacific Ocean. They form a circle of volcanoes known as the Ring of Fire. These volcanoes are found in areas where big pieces of Earth's surface or plates meet. Many volcanoes are formed along such plate boundaries. Living with volcanoes. Many people live near volcanoes. Some live close to the base of the mountains. Others farm nearby land. Ash from volcanoes is good for soil, so crops grow well. A dangerous surprise. Living near a volcano can be dangerous, though. Volcanoes can erupt without warning. That is just what happened in 1980 in Washington. On May 18th, a volcano named Mount St. Helens erupted. Hot ash and steam blasted out of the volcano. Few people were ready for it. Even scientists did not know it would happen that day. The volcano had not erupted since 1857. The burning ash poured down the mountain, killing all the trees and wildlife in its path. The blast produced millions of tons of dust that covered 230 square miles. Life returns. More than 20 years have passed since that day. Trees have now grown back. Animals live in the forests. Life has returned to Mount St. Helens. The people there will not forget what happened, though.
The last part of this article talks about a force on Earth, and I'll read it for you. Volcanoes are all over the world. Some are active and some are not. Some, like Mount St. Helens, could erupt without much warning. Volcanoes are one of the forces on Earth that we live with but cannot control. And as you see, this is a photograph of people living in a village in the Philippines. They used umbrellas to protect themselves from ash because nearby there is a volcano that was erupting. Thanks so much for learning with me today. And if you're in my classroom, as usual, you'll have a Google Classroom assignment that goes along with this.